What's up YouTube, this is Collect Pokemon and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are going to talk about the Japanese reprint part 1. So we know that the Lost Abyss, Paradigm Trigger, as well as Incandescent Arcana are being reprinted in Japan. And from what I know, these cards are going to hit the open market by the end of this week. So we're going to see many of these cards being sold on Japanese website at the end of the week. And over the weekend, I do believe that there will be a lot of Facebook posts, eBay sales and everything else trying to sell a lot of these boxes to the US. One thing to note is that this is only the first wave of this reprint and it doesn't seem so large. And how do I know it's the first wave? Because many of these cards are not yet available to be purchased on the Pokemon Center Japanese website. So yeah. Does these reprint actually affect the single card prices? So in this video, we're gonna dive into it, and I'm gonna give my thoughts into what I do believe will happen going forward in the future at the end of the video. Remember to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and if you want to support me, join the membership program. So so this is part 1 because I'm only gonna talk about the Lost Abyss sets right now, and I'm gonna use data from the Chart website. The Chart website is actually a Japanese website that was created during pandemic time, and it is very, very good in taking data point and tracking prices of the most popular cards. I mean, it doesn't have every single card, but it only tracks the most popular trending cards that they're in a set. And in the Lost Abyss set, the most popular card was considered to be these 4. The Rotom V, the Giratina V, Lady, as well as the Giratina V Star. So that website was only able to track these 4 cards. But it will give us a good understanding and a good idea as to what is happening to many of these cards. So let's get into it. The first card I want to talk about is Rotom V. So Rotom V is considered to be an art card. It was quite popular, and there were times when people thought that, oh my god, this is a beautiful art. I don't know why everyone hype up a certain card, but that's that. But the current selling price of this card is around 4,000 yen, 25 US dollar. I've made some conversions so that it is easier for you guys to interpret the data. PSA 10 selling for around around 40 bucks USD. And with the reprint news that was told, we heard the reprint news 3 to 4 weeks ago. The price for this card actually didn't change much, and even with the reprint, the PSA 10 actually went up in price, with only around a 6%, but still a small increase. But we always have to compare it with the all-time high, and we can see that the raw card dipped around 15%, whereas the PSA 10 dipped around 57%. And to be very honest, this card overall did really, really well. And if you have bought it when it was released or whatever, you didn't actually lose that much money. It's very little. It's around 15% loss. And so, yeah. Very, very good buy if you have bought this card. Now, going into the next card is the Giratina V Star. This is a gold card, and yes, this was a very, very crazy card at release. You can see that the all-time high was actually on release for this card. The current price of this raw card is around 2,000 yen, 12 US dollar, and the PSA 10 version is around 46 US dollar. Now, the reprint news haven't actually damaged or caused any fallen prices of this card, with the raw dropping around 3% and the PSA 10 staying stagnant. And I do think the reason why is that, similar to the Rotom V, the Giratina V Star is a very, very affordable card at this point. And so that's why I don't think it's likely to be affected by the news of the reprint, and it will hold its price. But yes, from the all-time high, it dropped around 66% for the PSA 10 and 75% for the raw. But I do believe that 75% drop from the raw was that, people were FOMOing a lot when this card was first released. Now, going into the card that was pretty much got obliviated is the Lady. Lady was considered to be a waifu, a very, very strong waifu card back then. And with the 2023 waifu hype, it was hyped up along with it. And so, yeah, it actually dropped 83% from its all-time high for the raw card and 89% in its PSA 10. What about currently? It is currently sitting at around 14 US dollar for a raw card and 30 US dollar for a PSA 10. Yeah, the people who actually bought it in the waifu era, it really, really hurt them. And the past 30 days, this card has gone nowhere but down, especially the PSA 10. We see a 23% drop. And yeah, waifu is not coming back. It's not going to come back for a very, very long time because those people still have this memory of being haunted by these waifu pretty much. You'll be surprised how many people actually lost a lot of money buying in to these waifu, and within a year it just evaporated all the money. So yeah. The last card I want to talk about is the Giratina V. This is the OR that everyone wants, and it's still standing quite a strong price at around 220 US dollar raw and around $320 in its PSA 10. The reprint did affect the price. The news of the reprint actually caused this card to retrace around 15 to 16%. Yeah, this is very, very similar to what we do see in the Lady. But this one is much more, what do you call it? Much more equal, much more balanced between the raw and the PSA 10. From its all-time high, this card dropped around 56% in raw and 67% in PSA 10, which I do believe is quite acceptable, knowing what happened in 2023. The old art still actually did quite well. It did drop, but then it does recover very quickly when it needs to. So here's my thoughts. My thoughts is that this is only the first wave of this reprint. So if you guys want to buy more of this, I would definitely wait a little longer to see if there's any more reprint coming for the set. Second, we're seeing prices of the raw card and PSA 10 card converging, meaning that people or customers or consumer or me and you, we're not willing to pay to buy a extra premium on a PSA 10 cards. I mean, we don't mind paying 20-30% higher, but definitely not double or triple a raw card price. And I think that all these cards, they indicate that same thing, that PSA or graded cards are no longer something that people can just grade, flip, profit kind of thing. So that mode or that method may not work anymore unless a bunch of new people come back into the hobby without knowledge. They would buy up the PSA 10 and so on. Yeah, alt art card still doing very well, especially those mid-level alt art card like the Rotom V. You know, they are really, really resilient and they're really not affected by reprint or news of reprints. So that's my take on Lost Abyss. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think will happen? Will there be more of these, or is this one wave done? And if there's more of these, do you think that the price of these cards will continue to drop? And are you going to pick up any of these cards right now? Because it is quite low, especially for prices like Lady and the Giratina V-Star. Let me know in the comment section. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. This is Collect Pokemon. Bye-bye.